MetaPoo is doing things a little bit different, and I wanted to talk about that today with you guys. Hello, beautiful people. Captain Zach Sparrow here. To quote the Discord server loosely here, Walmart submitted another order. They put an input for another order for Wilderness the day after Cryptid Nation 2 hit shelves. I was seeing comments in some market discords and the Discord itself. Yes, is that really a big deal though? Like, what does that mean? Yes, that's a big deal. Yes, that's a very big deal. In my opinion, it's so here's where we're at with MetaZoo right now. I want you guys to go to TCGPlayer. I want you to open up two tabs, one for Cryptid Nation First Edition booster boxes, and the other tab for Cryptid Nation Second Edition booster boxes. And you're going to see two different graphs, and this is why you're pulling both of them up and looking at them, the graphs that is. And we want to compare and contrast here, if you will. What I was looking for were opportunities in the graphs. And I don't just look at graphs for information. When I'm trying to make a decision on why or why not to invest in said product, for these boxes in particular, I was looking at outliers, opportunities. I'm not buying Cryptid Nation First Edition booster boxes at these prices. Do I think that they'll be okay investments or even good investments down the line, mid to long term? Yeah, absolutely. Again, percentage growth wise, I don't know. I have a lot of confidence in a plethora of other items than those first edition booster boxes. I don't think they're bad pickups. I will say that. I don't think they're bad. I don't want to say no. I just really believe that there are a lot of alternatives that will perform better, again, increase wise. So that's one thing that I wanted to kind of dissect when I was looking at this. Another thing that I wanted to look at too, though, were those second edition booster boxes. And that, past performance isn't indicative of future results, sure. But what do hedge fund managers do when they pick out a particular fund? And whenever they're coming up with their prospectus, and whenever they're outlining something for the Sharpe ratio or a Sortino ratio or whatever it is that they're doing, what is the biggest input for making those decisions? And in case you're not in that space or it's of no interest to you, I'll save you a little bit of time here. It was past performance. Interestingly enough, it was what has this fund done historically? What has this stock done? What has this mutual fund done? Whatever it is ETF, it doesn't matter. What has this done historically? If I were to point out an investment to you, and I said, over the last 28 years of this particular investment, it's seen about 1.2% growth on average. Okay, but what if I showed you a similar-ish company, and what if I showed you that saw an average of 5.6 annual percentage yield? Which one would you rather invest in? Assume everything else is pretty much the same. Similar companies, similar fees, you can invest in the same account with it. What would look more attractive to you? The past performance of the fund. Why? Because that's the only data we really have to go off of. So when I was looking at these Cryptid Nation Second Edition booster boxes, I looked at the first edition booster boxes. What did those do? Why did they do that? And then if you want to look back even further, you can look back at the Kickstarter boxes. Where are those floating at in price? And you see, $7,000-8,000 plus a piece still. Yeah, that's a pretty good return on your investment if you bought there toward the bottom or near the beginning at all. And right now, we are at the bottom of a Kübler-Ross change curve. What happens, here's where we're at right now. And you're seeing capitulation. You're seeing that right now. What happens after the depression stage of a Kübler-Ross change curve? It goes up. It goes this way. It goes this way. Is there something else that I can do for you? Well, Zach, that's pretty irresponsible to say. You have to be very careful how you word that, because you're implying that you're seeing kind of like the floor of this price, and then now that would be the time to buy. Yeah, very very much so. I would be implying that now would be a pretty good time to buy. Well, here's another thing. Is actually, you know what? I don't want to get into that in this video. So at this stage, if you're looking at the cost of what it takes for an LGS to get these booster boxes out to you, and you can get this information online. You can simply ask people as well. You can ask your LGS if you have a good relationship with them, and you can get a pretty good idea. I mean, the internet is full of information, full of weird crap too, but you can find out some pretty great information. The internet's a wonderful place. It's a place where you can go online and watch Captain Zack Sparrow videos. So what I'm trying to say is it's not too difficult to find out, roundabouts, like as an average Joe here, like roundabouts, what's it look like for an LGS for them to get Cryptid Nation Second Edition booster box in their hands? It's going to be somewhere in the 80s, generally speaking. Yes, some huge players might get super duper bulk discounts, and not much more so than that. And if you don't believe me, that's fine. Go onto other channels, YouTube, Google it. They are somewhere in the 80s. For example, Pokémon store, they sold their Cryptid Nation Second Edition booster boxes. I actually forget the price. It was like 81 or 87 though. It was like somewhere right around there. And that's wholesale cost from them. And I'm not saying that they get the best prices, but I'm just saying that there's one example that you can kind of work off of. When you're seeing these prices on the secondary market, on your eBays and your marketplaces, wherever, and you're seeing these go for 80, 90, even at $100 a pop, you're not really getting those at a bad price relative to what would be the floor cost, the base cost of it. And why I keep doing these little bunny rabbits for you guys is because I just think bunny rabbits are cute. But also, the floor price isn't really a floor price, right? The game could tank, or the floor price could bottom out. It absolutely could. You could see them go below that. Have we seen Pokemon or Magic the Gathering booster boxes go well below MSRP before? Yeah, absolutely we have. Zach, are you implying that these boxes, that these are going to be the lowest prices that we'll ever see? No, I don't. But at this point in time, you're going to have to ask yourself, and you really are speculating on the game at that point and saying, at this point, do I see the game succeeding more so from now? And I'm not saying that whether you're betting on the game to last for 30 years or whatever the case, and these are questions that I'm asking myself as well. Who knows if it'll be around 30 years from now? If I had to guess at this point, I would lean toward yes, it would. None of us know this, right? And I know a lot of people watching this video will have a lot of conviction around this topic, one way or the other, and that's great. It's hard to know. Like, the world changes a lot over the course of just a couple or a few decades, right? Look where we were at 20 years ago. 20 years ago, think about what the world was like 20 years ago, right? Like, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now, even. So a lot can change in 30 years. Do I really, would I be willing to bet like 5 to 10 years from now, I could see MetaZoo thriving and just doing fine? Yes, I could. 30 years from now is a much bigger ask. And again, I would lean toward yes at this point. And believe me, I really enjoy MetaZoo and I like the game, and it's nothing about that. This is just like a deeper conversation from and I'm trying to take a step back, right? Because I'm a biased stonker collector, and I make freaking YouTube videos about card games, right? I'm pretty heavily invested in the space. So these are just questions I like to ask myself, and I don't have the answers to them. Nobody has the answers to them, but it's just, there's not necessarily a right answer to this. But what I can do is look at past performance from previous sets of that game, or see what other games have done in similar places and similar points in time. Usually around this time is when you start to see kind of like the make or break point for a TCG. Again, if you don't believe me, look up that information on YouTube. Watch other videos of different YouTubers and get that information from LGSs, from people who have a vast knowledge of varied card games throughout their careers. There's a lot of information out there, guys. Don't be getting it from just one or two sources, which I'm sure most of you aren't. But I just want to throw that back out there again, because I know there are some people, they'll like read one article online, or they'll watch like a video about a particular topic, and their opinion is totally swayed. It is good to be open-minded, but it is good to think for yourself. That is also a healthy thing. So don't forget to do that too, boys and girls. I feel like, I don't know, like I'm teaching kindergarten at this point. You guys are a lot smarter than that. Well, some of you. No, I'm kidding. It's only me that's of that intelligence level. So anyway, at this point, I am asking myself, these are the questions that I am asking myself. Do I see Cryptid Nation Second Edition booster boxes? Do I see these particular boxes, these specific boxes in this specific point in time from the date that this video is uploaded? Do I think now is a good time to buy relative to where I see the game at in X amount of time from now, when I would look to be offloading some product, when I would look to be potentially selling, whatever my specific time horizon is, whatever my budget is, do I think that that could be a good place to park my money for a set amount of time? At this point, yes, I am doubling down on MetaZoo with these Cryptid Nation Second Edition booster boxes, some of the cards even. I'm looking at some of the older cards at this point, but I am telling you right now, for my point of view, Cryptid Nation Second Edition is being slept on right now, because you are starting to see that depression stage from people. You're starting to see regret. People who bought boxes that weren't $80 a pop, they bought them much higher than that, and they're feeling guilty about that, and they're like, you know what, I guess not everything that has MetaZoo stamped on it is just going to stonk super well for me. But if you just look past the end of your nose, all right, just look past there, and you ask yourself, are Cryptid Nation Second Edition booster boxes going to be $80, $90 shipped 3 years from now? Do I think the game will be around 3 years from now? If you say yes to that, say, I think the game's going to be around 3 years from now. Do you think Cryptid Nation Second Edition booster boxes are going to be $90 shipped 3 years from now? So these are the questions that I like to ask myself. And then to have a deeper conversation would be, now, do I think like a particular chase card from Cryptid Nation Second Edition, like a reverse hollow Mothman, a full hollow Mothman, do I think that something like that would potentially see a higher increase relative to the market? Like, do I think that those are undervalued right now, given their pull rate, how hard they are to grade? Do I want to buy an already graded Mothman, Bigfoot, whatever card? Do I want to buy those that are already graded? Do I want to get that from Second Edition though, or do I want to pull that from First Edition? I don't have all the answers, and markets are dynamic, and this is why we have to make videos constantly, and why we have to have conversations constantly, because the prices are almost always moving. Nothing's always the same, and that's why the market is always changing to reflect the correct price. So there could be arbitrage opportunities, there could be investment opportunities, there could be just decent buys if you're just like the average collector stonker. So at this point, I am asking myself, do I see these boxes dropping down to, I don't know, $60 shipped, $70 shipped in the foreseeable future, like within the next 6 months to a year? I don't see that. Well, Zach, like if a bear market comes up, do you think you might see that? I don't. I don't see that with Second Edition. I really feel like the market has already set a firm floor price for these boxes. Again, I'm not saying that's right. I'm letting you know my conviction, how I've come to that conclusion, and I'm letting you know right now, it looks exactly like a Kübler-Ross change curve. Exactly like one. Like it's got all of the same characteristics of it. It's man, it's interesting. It's really cool. So I am excited to see where this game goes within the next 12 months. That's going to be really intriguing to see the outcome. The Discord server is growing rapidly. There are market Discord servers catered toward just MetaZoo that are growing rapidly. They're continuing to grow. You're not seeing a slowdown on that. It is continuing to grow. I had a, but here's an anecdotal example for you guys. I had a buddy of mine. He's not into the card game space at all. He went up to the checkout at Walmart the other day, and he took a picture of one of the MetaZoo hangers, and he said, "Hey, have you heard of this game before?" I don't talk to him about everything with the space. He's just not interested in it, and I smiled because he's not going to be the only dad that picks up a hanger who says, "What's this game? It's a card game. It's weird." That's going to be happening all over the place now, folks. All over the place. Man, if you've got some items listed, if you're looking to buy some items, I would encourage you to think again. I'm not suggesting that you take your listings down. I'm not suggesting that you put some listings up. I'm saying whatever it is that you're currently doing or were thinking to do, think about it again. Think about it in a different light, a different angle. And I'm not saying that angle will be right, but when you look at it from all these different angles, that could help you get to that conclusion. I hope this conversation brought something to you guys. I know that even just me talking out loud here just kind of helps solidify some of the things that I was thinking about and just kind of, again, how I like to approach things. So thank you guys so much for watching. MetaZoo gang going strong. I know every single time I go to end a video, I like cringe a little bit inside because I'm like, I don't know how to end these. And again, the whole, man, I'm going to tell you guys something here a little bit at the end. For those of you who stuck around at the end here, thank you, by the way. It saved me probably like 1 to 2 hours, probably closer to 2 hours per video of me not editing them. Me literally just hitting boop, start recording, and then just me going all full one take, and then me hitting boop, and then I can upload directly from my phone. That's what I'm recording on. And that saves me so much time. Like, I really want to give you guys like the nice little cool, funny outros and little songs at the end. And I'll try to do that on occasion when I get like ample time to do stuff. But if you've noticed, the channel's finally started cranking out content kind of regularly again. And I really like that, and I want to keep that pace up. It's just really unsustainable for me personally because I am just a lazy person. And I'm going to be honest, I don't want to sit down and edit this video for 2 hours when there's not too much to take out. So I just wanted to throw that out there for you guys. Thank you guys so much for your support. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Say something nice to someone today, either in the comments here or just in Discord or just in real life. Like, it's easy to forget that there's that aspect too when you're talking to people on the internet. So say just something nice to somebody. That can go a really long way for someone. I know it helps me. And I know it brightens up other people's day, not to be too cliche. So thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, we'll see you later, gals.